cold waters. We have just finished our first mission of a campaign, which was to sink special operations submarines, which we've done thanks to a very, very capable submarine. So we've now got new intelligence. Intelligence is a pattern of movements of the enemy at sea, replenishment tankers and tenders. Small enemy force, including one of two of these ships, is expected to sail from Arkhangelsk shortly for a rendezvous somewhere in the Norwegian Sea. Now, we're actually in the Norwegian Sea, so that's good. So, okay. But tenders and tankers are the mission target. Fine. Very well. Okay, so we're going to continue on course. And we're already in the Norwegian Sea, so we've got a SOSUS network in between the Svalbard Islands and Norway. So we're just gonna, we'll know if anything, particularly surface ships, cross that border. Possibly this one, so we're gonna head north to rendezvous with it. Oh, sugar. Okay, so I want to avoid this patrol here. Right, I'm gonna have to full speed this. Okay. I don't know if this is it, but we'll find out. So we're hopefully having contact with a surface fleet here. So what we're gonna do, we'll keep one torpedo and one Moss tube loaded. And we're going to load ourselves with missiles, and we're going to keep ourselves as far away as possible. So we've known what our orders are in advance. We know we're targeting a surface surface sheep, Jesus Christ. So our torpedo room is ready. We've heard the contact, so it's going to be action stations. All hands man your action stations.
Contact. Last bearing. Rig ship for ultra quiet.
Okay, ship ahead slow. Rig for ultra quiet. We want to be quick with this, so while we've got excess speed, let's climb, and we're going to go to periscope depth, and we're going to get ready to do this. We don't want our missiles.
Sonar new contact bearing.
Okay.
0, 2, 1. Designated Sierra 1.
So 0, 2, 1. So. Oh crap! This could be an anti-submarine fleet because they're pinging active.
Maneuvering, making turn.
Okay, so let's go to this, and we're gonna go to submarine. Okay. I want to match the two at
sonar new contact bearing 0, 1, 2. Designated Sierra 2.
Okay, I think Sierra 1's an possibly a Eudaloy. No, it's a Cara. No, actually, well, there could be a line here. It might be a Eudaloy, it might be a Cara.
Sierra 1 is classified as escort.
Okay, the noise is very loud, so they're not going to hear us. So you can hear. So we're going to get up to periscope depth. Yeah, the sea conditions are very, very loud, so they're not going to hear us. So you can see. Well, actually, the sea doesn't look that bad,
sonar
to be honest.
Contact on Sierra 2 bearing 0, 1, 1.
Okay, so we've got another surface contact. I don't know what that is. It's not Riga.
Sonar lost contact. Sierra 2 last bearing 0, 1, 0. Contact faded.
The reason I need to do this quickly is if they suspect that there is a submarine in the area, they're going to be sending helicopters, such as this one. And why are we surfacing? Why are we surfacing?
Make depth 4, 5 feet, dive high.
Okay, we just broached. That's incredibly bad.
Mast.
Okay, so we're detected if we put the radar mast up, which we've now done. So we've got Master 1, Master 2.
Sonar, Master 2 is classified as escort.
Okay, they're both side on, which is terrible. So they're now turning towards us. Okay, perfect. So they've fired at us, which is fine. So we're now going to have to take action right now. So
Shoot 2, 2.
one away. Two away.
3. Aye, sir.
Krevac, 1 away,
Aye, sir.
2 away.
Shoot 2-5. Aye, sir.
Helm ahead flank.
Habitating.
Lower the
All
ESF
masts down. Full dive.
Make depth 9.
Helm hard to
0
port.
feet, dive aye.
What's our... So seafloor's at 9,000
Con
feet.
sonar lost contact. Mast.
Passing 100 feet.
Okay, we're gonna go to 1,600 feet, so everyone knows where we are. Right, let's load some mosses, because we're gonna need them. We might have another ship. So we found an anti-submarine patrol. This is not our target. Or, it could be our target. We don't know. Okay, so those ships are now coming straight for us.
Con, helm, steady course.
And both our... Well, one of the missiles hit one of the ships. We know that much. Yeah, okay. Very well. Okay, so let's just preload our stuff. So yeah, they're sending lots of rocket-powered missiles at us, which is fun. These things are always quite fun to watch, because it's quite a cool thing with the torpedo strapped underneath.
Con, maneuvering, making turns for 30 knots.
Okay.
Con, sonar, torpedo in the water, bearing, 020.
Okay, helm.
Come right to 024.
We're gonna go right to that torpedo. No, this is a terrible idea. Okay, I think we're under its detection range.
267.
So let's go right to the bottom. Helm and set depth.
800 feet,
Feet.
dive aye.
We can always fire a moss if we need to, but I think I think it's so close to us that we are.
Con, helm, steady course.
This one's kind of detecting us. And this one's kind of detecting us too. Yeah, okay, right, fine. Helm back emergency.
Maneuver guy.
Prepare fire tube 6. Fire tube 6.
6. Aye, sir.
Con, sonar, regained contact.
Okay.
Con, maneuvering, making turns for 5
So,
knots.
ahead
Making
15
turns
knots.
for 15 knots. Maneuvering
So
guy.
what we're going to do is we've got now control of this, and I want it to get right to the surface.
Tube 4 ready.
Okay. I want this to go right to the surface before I lose the wire.
Making turns for 15 knots.
So I want to be completely on the other side of the depth barrier from this. I might need to fire a second moss. Actually, I'm just going to have to go ahead flank.
Make turns for 30 knots.
We're going to lose the wire, but I need to get depth. I need to get distance from this torpedo. The seeker head isn't too far, but if I don't do it, then it's going to strike me.
Con, sonar, lost contact. Master, 1. Last bearing, 013. Contact faded.
Okay, let's...
Con, fire control.
Come right to.
Okay, we've lost the wire.
278. Helm, aye.
What happens now is up to that.
Con, helm, steady course.
Okay. So this Kara and Krevac might be getting close to us. Okay. Whoops. I was wondering if they've fired off any more missiles, which they haven't done. So you can see our shadow on the bottom. I am using a mod which reduces this. So I think we are possibly far enough away that I can start doing this.
5 knots. Maneuvering aye.
And the reason I want to do this is I want to cool
Con,
our
sonar,
speed down.
regained contact on. Master, 1. Bearing, 014.
So we've now got Master 1. So you can see this ship's taken a nice hit to the side, but it's not been enough to sink it. And so, yeah, so these aerial drop torpedoes are doing fine.
Knots.
And what we want to do is we want, I think they're going to be closer than that now, so I want to send a torpedo at 5 kiloyards.
Shoot 2-1.
We're going to do
Aye,
this.
sir.
We'll keep one in reserve. So the Kara's got the big hole in it, and the Krivac, which I can't see, is somewhere else. Krivac's the missile carrier, I think. So basically, yeah. Ooh, sugar, shit. This is a big problem. Oh, this is a big problem. Okay, helm. Hard to starboard.
091 helm aye.
Okay, let's just we're gonna active this torpedo and we're gonna send it in the direction of this Kara, which I think is actually moving away from us, and we're gonna increase speed to 15
Make
knots.
turns for 15 knots. Maneuvering aye.
Oh god, that's so close to us. Oh, we need to get out of that seeker head.
Maneuvering. Making turns for 15 knots.
I actually think this torpedo has us. I think there's... The only thing I have is it's shallow and the sea is noisy. I actually... Oh, this is tense. Okay, I want to come parallel and opposing with it, because if I can get underneath its seeker head undetected, it should be okay. If it pings here, I might be fuckled. Okay, so it's seeker. Yeah, okay.
Steady course.
Okay, I might be okay. The sea conditions might be too noisy for it to function. So it's going to make its closest pass to me soon. I think we're going to be alright. Let's go parallel with...
050.
No, it's about to come back to us, so we'll do this. So we're just monitoring it here. So it's basically got 90 degrees, so we might actually be out of seeker head soon. Turning back.
Left to 037 helm aye.
Okay, our torpedoes actually acquired the target, which is good, given that I can't see it anymore. Okay. I think we're now okay. Yeah, we're out of that seeker head. So the seeker head is generally about 180 degrees from the direction of travel, so I think if we draw a line diagonal to that, we're okay. So helm ahead slow.
5 knots. Maneuvering aye.
How is our torpedo doing? So, the Kara shat itself sideways, which is what? Okay, so the game's not perfect, alright. Okay, so we can't see the Kara.
Con sonar.
Ooh.
Con maneuvering, making turns for 5 knots. Con sonar, noisemaker, bearing,
okay.
002.
So we're going to assume direct control, and we're going to do this. So the Kara's taking pot shots at us, and actually it's going to be a good pot shot because we're right on that direction. So let's fix that and come hard.
Come right.
A starboard, course 088, and let's go. We've still got a ship missing. Actually, that's over there, so we know where it is, but we don't know where it is. We YouTube know where it is, but the captain of my submarine doesn't know where it is, which is always an important consideration that I do in these videos. So anyway, this might finally sink this goddamn Kara.
Bearing 360.
Yeah, okay. So contact M1 Kara breaking up, which means his oh, what is this? Oh, okay.
Come right to 102 helm aye.
So either what's happened here is they have sent that submarine intentionally into a circle search pattern, which is good if you've got it's a good area of denial tool, because it means I can't go that way. Like if that's a UGST torpedo, which it probably won't be given the era that we're in. It means I'm not going to be able to go that direction for an hour, because that basically denies 6 kileyards, or like just about approximately a 6 kilometer range around that torpedo. I'm not going to be able to go to in case it hears me. Or the alternative, and the scary alternative, is that I've not heard it, but it's heard me.
Helm.
And then it's lost contact with me, so it's circled until it can pick me up. Okay, cool. Fine.
Con, torpedo room, tube 1 ready.
So we don't know where this Krevac is. And with the helicopters sodding around the place... Okay. I'm going to run us ahead 10 knots.
Make turns for 10 knots. Maneuvering eye.
Okay, so he fired that torpedo in a bit of a different direction. So we can hear it now, and we know that we're going in a direction that's going to get us merrily screwed up. So helm ahead,
Come
starboard,
right to
hard of starboard,
269.
270.
Helm eye.
Okay, so we're now going to try and get out the seeker head of this torpedo. It's gone into our baffles, so we can't hear it. It's now cleared our baffles, so here we are.
Helm. Steady course.
So we're just on torpedo evasion, and at the moment it's, well, once it gets to kind of 3 kileyards, we're in trouble. But it's
Come
okay.
right to 0.
Oh no! None of that. I didn't mean to right click. Let's actually head north
Come
west
left to 308. Helm eye.
for a bit.
Con helm. Steady course.
Okay, and I don't know if there's any other torpedoes coming. So let's put us
Make
to
turns
this.
for 5 knots. Maneuvering eye.
Okay, so the Krevac,
Maneuvering. Making turns for 5 knots.
the Krevac is no longer pinging us with active sonar. I can see no sonobuoys, and we've not had any aerial dropped things for a while. So the helicopters are looking for us, but they don't know where we are. So like if I go to my position, the helicopters are nowhere near us. But yet we can't see the Krevac, so we don't know where he is. So given this is an anti-tender patrol, and we've not had tenders. Is this my decoy? Yeah, so there's a good chance that the helicopter might be chasing my decoy. But I'm not particularly interested in a Krevac, so if I go to yeah, this is a warship through and through. This isn't a submarine tender. This is none of that. So I don't want to use my missiles, because that's my only 2 missiles left. So the question is what to do. We've got nothing near us, so we could leave.
Depth 4, 5 feet. Rig ship for
But you know, we're in a British submarine. We do things properly. So let's see if we can. Because if I don't know if the Krevac's been hit by anything. I just don't. So if we can hit it with 1 torpedo, I've got 19 left plus 2 in the tubes. That's not a problem for me. So I can hit it, and then we might be, we might be quids in. But I don't want to waste my time. So we're gonna go to periscope depth. Hopefully not fucking broach this time. I might actually just take us up by hand.
700 feet.
Captain taking the con. We'll see how that goes. Okay. So, we're not going to use the planes at all. We're going to use the ballast. So we're going to be on ballast 30. So we're coming up as much as we can. And we're just going to start winding our neck in a little bit. So 45 is our target depth. So we're at 60 feet. 50 feet. 45 feet, neutral ballast. Okay. Let's put up the ESM mast.
Raise the ESM mast.
Okay, we're just... Oh no, we're within detection. Okay. So we've got... Oh. Krivak's possibly close. Krivak's possibly not close. It can just... It will detect us if we put up the radar mast. But I want to risk it because I want to know his direction of travel, frankly. So we've got the radar mast. And we've now got a 95% solution. Oh, he stopped. Perfect. What direction is he facing? Okay. Fine, very well. So let's fire this,
Aye, sir.
and it's going to go up to the surface. We're within
Lower the
detection,
radar
so
mast.
let's get rid of those masts. So the Krivak's obviously stopped to pick up survivors from the Kara that's sunk.
Make depth 15.
But it's a very, very
dive by.
powerful and capable warship, and we don't want it.
Con, torpedo room 2.
We do not particularly want it left in the waters. So they'll send a distress signal. There'll be help coming for those survivors, but we don't want that warship coming back to bite us in the ass because it is a very, very capable warship. So let's see.
Con, dive at 15.
So he's not hurt. So the sea conditions are awful. 110 ambient noise is huge. So it's now. We've just seen a torpedo plop into the water. So he's obviously in the process of shooting himself sideways. You can see the bubbles coming out the back. He is now. The torpedo's flying again. Okay, so he's now gone ahead full and is in full torpedo evasion mode. We have no control over this torpedo, so if he starts putting out noisemakers, then it's fine. The problem with being a surface ship in modern warfare is that this torpedo, the Spearfish, can do 60 knots. That ship can't do 60 knots. You're a sitting duck if you're on the surface. Submarines, they can use elevation to evade torpedoes, but he can't do that. The only way he can sink is if he gets hit, and that was that was a well-timed noisemaker. Okay, so he's dodged this. So this torpedo is gonna circle around the place. It's not redetected him yet. It has now. It's now got him. He's probably going to have a second noisemaker loaded soon, so that's not too bad.
Con sonar, noisemaker bearing 036.
So he's now trying to get away. The seas aren't helping him. Look how much he's kind of struggling in these heavy seas. So the torpedo's gone into countermeasure homing. And the torpedo's now reacquired him. But actually, it might get him. That might get. No, it's too. Torpedo went too deep. So the torpedo's gonna have to circle around, but he's now playing around his noisemakers, which is a good tactic to use. So the torpedo is having a hard time getting a clear line of sight. And look, we can now barely see him where this torpedo is so far away.
Sonar, noisemaker bearing 040.
So the torpedo will get him eventually. This has like an hour of fuel, but it doesn't need it.
Sonar lost contact.
That's
Master 2, last bearing 041. Contact breaking up.
So poor Krivak's going underwater. We're at a head full because I want to get out of dodge of his torpedoes. So the Kara is right on the sea floor. You can see it's damaged because we can like teleport underneath the water. But yeah, so the Krivak's done, and actually I've got no weapons nearby, which is fine. So let's leave the combat. So this was not our mission. This was yeah. So we're not going to get through this. Crud. Okay. Okay. We've now got a submarine contact. So in the hour that preceded, we knew there were submarines nearby, and we've unloaded our missiles. Because we are a well-functioning British crew of the Royal Navy. So I'm just going to continue this in the same episode. We know we've got a submarine contact, judging by our intelligence, but we don't know if it's a fleet or a single contact. So at the moment, our heading is our heading's 236, and the contact bearing was 211. So once again, for the second time on this particular day, we're going to sound action stations, action stations.
Con, sonar, new contact bearing, 211, designated Sierra 1.
Rig ship for ultra quiet.
Oh my god, it's close. Okay, so let's try and identify it. So it's very quiet. We've got very limited information to go to. I suspect we've got a line here. We've
sonar,
got
Sierra 1 is cavitating.
That is remarkably helpful. But there's a good chance that he knows that there's a ship here. What was that? Is that a Sierra? It's very close to Sierra. Is it a Sierra 1? It's a Sierra 1. Okay, so that's a very capable
Sierra
submarine.
1 is classified as submerged submarine.
Okay, so we've now got a moderate duct formed, but we've kind of got a good. So I'm gonna give my passive sonar the best chance to pick up on him.
283, helm I.
Okay, let's go to 300 feet.
Make depth 300 feet. Dive I.
So we're gonna set this torpedo to run above the depth.
Con, sonar, helm, steady course.
So we have an idea of where it is. I'm gonna set it to run at 3 kiloyards. And we're going to set it to go just south, because I saw the contact. I saw the contact ticking to the south. So, yeah. I want to... I think it's going to the south. I think it's going southeast. So we're going to fire a torpedo in that general direction. Okay, so... Fuel remaining 26 minutes. Range until activation is now 1.8 kiloyards. The seas are very noisy, so yes, we've got a modern duct, a moderate duct, but because we heard that submarine, I think it's close. So for this era, Sierras are very, so UGST torpedoes are very, very powerful. Those are the ones I was talking about in the last video that last video? No, this video. This video. Before we did this, because I'm not old, shut up. Okay, right, so torpedo's now going active, and what I set the torpedo to do is go above the layer. So you're now going to see this tick up to just above the layer, where it can hear things.
Con, sonar, regained contact on Sierra 1, bearing 198.
Gotcha, bitch! So, contact's cavitating, which means he's probably heard the torpedo, and he's now shitting bricks, so we can now see him.
Con, sonar, lost contact. Sierra 1, last bearing 197. Contact faded.
So we've not heard any return fire yet. So we've got decoys loaded, so I'm prepared for return fire, but I want to hold the wire for as much as possible. Now there's return fire. So he's now heard this torpedo, and I am...
Con, sonar, regained contact on Sierra. Con, sonar, launch transient from Sierra 1.
Okay, we've got double launch transient. He doesn't know where we are, but he can almost possibly track us with this. So we're going to steer that torpedo, and we're not going to hang around this area.
Fire control, weapon acquired.
Okay, so we're going to go directly west.
269.
We're going to go full deep, emergency deep, 1,500 feet.
Con, fire, make
Planes hard dive and a head flank.
Make turns for.
So we've lost the wire, which is fine. Reload the tube. Let's go. So we're now in full torpedo evasion mode, so he's going to have fired it to the north. He's cavitating like nobody's business, so he's going to have lost the wire. Yeah. So I'm not worried about him tracking me with his active sonar. I mean, look at this. Even with active on, minus 36, he doesn't have a clue where I am. He only knows where I am because of the torpedo. And look at this. If I had the wire, I would have been able to guide the torpedo right to where he is. Kind of. That's my torpedo trail. And that's... yeah, this is where he is. So now we've got a proper fix on him. Oh, but here's the torpedo coming in. And I don't think he's done enough. There was about a quarter of a ball hair in that. So it's a Victor-class. It's a Victor-class submarine that we're against. Not a Sierra, we misclassified it. So it's only got set 65, so this is not as capable as the Sierra submarine. And our torpedo is now being slightly foiled by his noisemaker. So he's doing a good job. He's now turning hard to starboard into the path of the torpedo, or into the trail of the torpedo rather, so as to give him as much time before the torpedo reacquires him. It's now getting lost around the noisemakers, but he's not doing much depth control.
Dive at 1500 feet. Dive high.
Oh, he's now turning right towards it, which is an alright tactic if you're doing depth changes, but he's not, so he is dead.
Sonar lost contact. Sierra 1. Last bearing 177. Contact breaking up.
Poor boy. So his torpedoes have activated, and the reason I know this is because if I look at my minimap here, I'm hearing red. So red is active sonar pings of torpedoes that are active. And this is cool. So you can see with the Victor class, you've got the main prop here, but you've also got the I think they're called like creeper engines. So these small props can cut. Oh, that's coming. Oh, that's coming right towards me. This is gonna be close. Yeah. So these come on to allow you to travel silently at a couple of knots, but as quiet as possible. Whereas the main prop can sometimes be quite noisy. But unfortunately for the Sierra class, it's going straight to the bottom. Actually, the path of this torpedo is more northwards than northeast, so we might be okay. So this is us over here. I'm going to put us a little bit deeper just to make sure. So we'll bring us down to 1,800 feet.
1800 feet. Dive high.
So all we've he's fired 3 torpedoes and hasn't hit us. This is basically what this submarine was designed to do. It was designed to be like a technological trump on submarines of this era. Oh, he's just nosedived right into the bottom. So had it been available at that era, you know, and the Cold War having been, you know, gone hot, it would have been good. It would have obviously been quite good. So if this actually, do you know what? Helm hard port. I just want to get clean out of this seeker head as quickly as possible. Now, if this was a UGST torpedo, I would be worried, but this is a set 65, so it's not too bad. You can see it's 2.4 kiloyards, so given the loud conditions and the fact that I'm so far underneath it, I think we're now all right. So we're just gonna head full, and we're quite low to the bottom, so I'm just gonna bring us back up because we're now out of the seeker head of this. Let's just head slow, and we'll evaluate all the torpedoes that he fired to make sure that we're not in danger, because as far as we know, like, one of them could be circling, and none of them are. They're all going away. Oh, new contact.
5 knots.
Oh, new contact. So Sierra 2, that's a doublet, so it's another submarine. Let's evaluate the Victor. Is it a second Victor? I don't think it is. I think it's an Alpha.
Con sonar, Sierra 2 is classified as submerged submarine.
Oh. Okay. Do we know roughly what depth it is? Okay, so let's set this to run. Okay. Yikes. What are we hearing it on? We're hearing it on the towed array, so let's same again. Let's give the towed array the best chance. We're going to go full parallel.
Right to
and
269 helm I.
Yeah, all hands rigged for silent running. So I said we didn't know if this was a single contact or if it was a fleet.
Lost contact. Sierra 2, last bearing 188. Contact faded.
Hookers, we didn't want that snapshot.
Con sonar regained contact on Sierra 2, bearing 188.
Okay, same again, conditions are quite loud, so I think he's probably going to be close to us. So we're going to fire in his general direction.
Shoot 2-1. Aye, sir.
Probably shouldn't have done that while I was turning, but yeah, hopefully we don't lose the wire. Okay. So this torpedo is going to go active soon. So we know his direction and his rough depth, but we don't know where he is.
Con, helm, steady course.
Like, we don't know exactly how far away he is. So I've seen that we've now ticked more. He's bearing more to the port, so he's kind of coming down this way, and I want the torpedo to be at his depth. So I'm just going to manual control the torpedo now to his depth, which we can see here. Okay. So we don't know how far away he is, which is why I've made it go active. Now, active's not good because when in traveling mode, torpedoes can be deceptively...
Fire control, weapon acquired.
Haha! Perfect. Gotcha, bitch. Okay, good. So, if we look at this signature... Oh, he's barely going to hear this. He's struggling. So the Alpha, it says semi-quiet, but actually it's quite a loud submarine. So the thing that the Alpha did was it's incredibly fast because it's got a liquid bismuth. I can never say that. A liquid bismuth reactor, which was experimental at the time. I think it was like one of the first examples of like a liquid metal nuclear reactor, and all of the crew. He's heard me. Oh, that's not a... that's 100% not an Alpha.
Bearing 178.
But it lines up so well to an Alpha. That's not what we wanted to see. Okay, cool. Anyway,
Fire control, weapon acquired.
yeah, we we didn't see that. We'll leave it classified as an Alpha. I was going to show you. So basically, the Alpha, right? That what we just saw was not an Alpha. I fucked up. Unless I've not detected the submarine that's here, and there's 3, we don't know that. We'll cross that bridge soon. So this is a November class submarine, and it was a November class.
174.
So that signature was spot on an Alpha. And it was not in fact an Alpha, it was a November. So anyway, so I guess I'm not spoiling anything now, but the Alpha class is pretty interesting because like all of the crew live and work, like if you see where my cursor is, all the crew live and work like in this section here, and everything else, the torpedo room, the engine room, the reactor room, everything else is 100% automated. So there was lots of technical issues with it, and it also made things quite noisy because of like the 70s, 80s technology level that was there. But yeah, this is 100% not an Alpha. This is a November, which is the Russians' first ever class of nuclear submarine. Did he counterfire us? Well, there's 4 torpedoes, so actually he might have done. Or there's another contact. We just don't know. It's great. Yeah, actually, so that's the Alpha. Oh, where's the November? November should be back here. No, that's not the one. So if we look at the November... similar to an Alpha, but yeah, in terms of sonar signatures. Anyway, I think they've counter-fired a torpedo at us, and we didn't pathfind it as much. So let's just release from quiet and head.
Make turns for 30 knots. Maneuvering aye.
And it's gone right to the surface, which is good because it's above the layer, so it's going to struggle to hear us even when it does get to us.
Con, maneuvering, making turns for 30 knots.
So that was it reclassifying as a November. So if we look at the signature, so I think it shows us the signature now that the ship's been bested. Oh no, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. It's making turns. Oh fuck a hooker. 5. That was a good shot.
For 30 knots.
We shouldn't have slowed down. It's good that we did because we've at least heard it, but we're yeah, it's close and it's coming more towards us than not. So a November class submarine has set 65 torpedoes. So when the Victor fired at us, we were able to get within 2 kilojards of it and it not hear us. This torpedo is now 1.8 and it will pass as close to us as 1.5 kilojards. So we might be in trouble. 1.7. Actually, I think it's going to get, yeah, well, 1.5, yeah. So it is going to be about 1.5. Okay, 1.8. 1.9. So our speed, we're getting away from it. We're doing good. It's above the layer, so there's a good chance it's not going to hear us, which is fine because I made us run deep. We're not as deep as we can go, but we're not bad. Okay. It's not picked us up yet.
30 knots.
So helm hard a port.
Go left to 180. Helm aye.
So we're gonna go full rudder. And I just want to clear as much of its seeker cone as I can get. It's not pinging, so it's set to passive mode, which in these conditions is pointless. It's absolutely pointless. I've got really advanced torpedoes, but set 65 is not advanced. Okay, there we go. Ahead slow.
Make turns for 5 knots. Maneuvering aye.
Okay. So if a submarine has an underwater contact and now can no longer find it anymore, there's a good chance they might go to the surface and see if it is or is not a ship. So given that the enemy could be, any enemies that haven't already made themselves known to us could be doing that to us just now, we will also do this. I'm comfortable and confident that we don't have any other submarines in the area that we're aware of. So we'll just verify that. So our Astute-class
sonar new contact.
Fuck off!
5 designated Sierra 3.
Okay, Sierra 3 is also, no, it's not November. The last bar wasn't quite right. This one is possibly an alpha.
Sierra 3 is classified as submerged submarine.
God fucking damn it! Right, okay. Okay. Under 50 feet, right. Let's just clear our... Oh, we broached. Shit. Let's just clear our surface.
Raise the ESM mast.
Ooh, we have a surface detection. Interesting. Okay, something is sending signals near us. I suppose it could be an emergency buoy, actually. But fine,
Lower
whatever.
the ESM mast.
Okay, let's bring us below the layer. So we're gonna go to let's pot shot this. So I suspect he's not within the layer. So we are once again we're gonna bring us southwest this time.
Come right to
so that we're closing down distances while still running parallel to the alpha. Bring us down to 100 feet for just now.
Depth 100 feet, dive aye.
And we're going to use the exact same tactic as we've done so far. So we're going to bring us here and we're going to fire this. So I think this is really truly an alpha this time. I think. Okay, so this is gonna. So I think we would hear it if it was within the layer. I think that's why we heard it when we came above the layer, and then it dipped below the layer, and now we can't hear it anymore. So I think it's below the layer. So I've set this torpedo. Once it activates, it's going to run below the layer, which also is helpful because anything below the layer is not going to hear it as much.
100 feet, dive aye.
So we're now a kilojard downrange, which now gives me the space to also dive down. So we're going to go ahead and set depth to 1,500 feet. It's good to run deep because that gives you as much audio range as possible.
Helm, steady course.
But unlike our previous attempts, at firing. We don't have an active lock on it, so I can't use direction of travel to ascertain where he is, roughly, because you can.
Fire control. We've lost the wire.
God damn it! That was the one thing we didn't want to happen. Fuck. Right. Fine. It's cool. Okay. So there's a good chance this torpedo won't do anything.
Ready.
So we can still hear it. And I'm just gonna... Okay, it's now gone active. I can hear active sonar. Very, very faint, but I can hear it. Is it pinging? No. Okay, so I'm hoping to goad this submarine into reaction. Oh, well, I just acquired something. Yeet. I had it on fast forward, but it just snapped another direction. So like we've got no contact on it. So what I was hoping for was to goad him into firing, so I knew exactly where he was, so I could then fire again. But it seems the torpedo has done our work for us.
1500 feet, dive high.
Okay, so we've now got a noisemaker, so we now know where he is. He is roughly on the same...
Sonar regained contact on Sierra 3, bearing 153.
So if we have a look at this, so yes, this one was an Alpha class. So this is what I was saying before, is like basically this section here is where all of the crew lives, and everything else forward and rearward is all automated. It was a like really interesting thing. Did have a lot of technical difficulties as a result, but it's a very, very capable submarine. U-set torpedoes isn't something you particularly want to mess with, and 41 knots is huge. It could outrun almost any underwater torpedo of the 60s and 70s era. Of the 80s, not so much. And you know, with this, I mean, the swordfish. The swordfish was designed to tackle the swordfish. Yeah, no, swordfish. The torpedo is the swordfish, and it was designed to tackle the Alpha class because, like, the Mark 48 torpedo, which I believe the British did use for a while, can only do about like 45 knots, maybe a wee bit more. I'm not 100% on my memory on that one. So it can almost outrun it, almost. Whereas the swordfish can do 60 knots, and this ain't even this ain't outrunning that.
Noisemaker bearing 152.
So this is on this. I left this torpedo on passive because this is quite a noisy sub. I know it says semi-quiet, but like 111 decibels. There's a SNR of 31 decibels, so signal to noise ratio of 30 decibels, which is still quiet. I think that's like, it's like whispering basically. But this is a very modern torpedo, and it was around during this time. And
sonar noisemaker bearing 151.
So this poor submarine is also sinking to the bottom of the sea, so it's still got a little bit of positive buoyancy, and there it goes. Okay, that's fine. One thing I always do in order to give my crew the best chance of escaping the submarine is, if I know I'm going to get hit, just emergency blow ballast full planes to the top and try and get above escape depth. So this submarine actually does have an escape pod, so because it's dark I don't know if you can see it, but I'm just slightly, yeah, it's brighter on the screen that you're seeing than it is mine, but I'm tracing out the lines of a hatch on the top of the sail, and this is actually an escape pod, so there's enough room for this, for everybody to get into the escape pod, and then it jettisons all the way up to the surface, which is pretty cool. And I've hit that probably in approximately the nuclear reactor or engineering compartment, so there's a good chance, given that it's not imploded, because it was right on the surface when it hit the water, it's equalized throughout the compartments that are flooded. So there's probably been enough time for a few of them to get to the escape pods and go. Did he counterfire? He did not counterfire. So well, let's turn towards
Helm
them.
left 2, 146, helm I.
And hopefully for the final fucking time, let us do this again. So we're going to go full up to the surface.
Con, helm, steady course.
It's hard not to broach with the seas this stormy, but we're going to listen out for more contacts. We're actually just
Rig
going
ship
to
for ultra quiet.
put ourselves on silent again. That basically frees up a few extra decibels to help bring your SNR down quite a bit, which is good. Right, okay, so we're now here and we're once again broaching. Just because of the pattern of the waves.
Raise the ESM mast.
Okay, so we're still picking up signals, but there's no radar contacts.
Lower the ESM. Con, dive at 4-5 feet. Dive by.
Okay. So we'll do a final scan below the
Depth
layer.
400 feet.
We've
dive
not heard
by.
anything within the layer. And we've not heard anything underneath the layer. So 3 torpedoes and 3 submarines sunk. We're done. Leave combat. Ah, goodness gracious. Right, an Alpha, a Victor, and a November. And we've still got 17 spearfish left. Happy days. Cool. Right. Once again, this is not our mission objective. But when we come back, we will try and find targets that we're looking for. But before I just say thank you very much for watching this episode of Cold Waters, and I'll see you next time. Bye!